Hey everybody, welcome to my end of the year music video for 2023. Is it still an end of the year video if it's released 3 weeks into the new year? Fuck it. Normally this would be a music of the year video, but after the one in 2022 or 2021, one of those years, the one a few years ago, where there was a 5-way tie for album of the year, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm not gonna do a music of the year award thing. I'm just gonna tell you what I listened to, which was a lot. We're gonna speed through some of these because I listened to a lot, and some that I wish I got to just as a whole. Some of these will be expected, but I'm pretty sure there are at least like 2, probably more, that you probably won't see coming, right? I let my musical tastes kind of flow in the breeze, right? Kind of just, I don't hide my musical tastes, right? But you will start to see a pattern emerge when it comes to non-mainstream artists, and I'll explain it a bit, right? We're gonna start, though, with, basically, songs that were released without an album, or, like, it's very hard to describe, right? Like, they would release a single with no info on, like, an album, like, oh, it's gonna be on the next album. They're just like, whoa, wait and see. And it's like, okay, they just posted that stuff, or it's like a taste of what's to come in 2024. The first one up is probably explain it perfectly. Bring Me the Horizon. They released like the first taste of what I'm assuming is gonna be on their next album, like 2 years ago. I believe like 2 years ago they released, yeah, according to their thing for Posthuman Next Gen. I'm assuming that's the next album because it's got all of the singles that are not released on an album. Die For You was released 2 years ago, and then Strangers was a year ago. So a year apart between those 2 singles. Those are going to be on the next album, seemingly. So that kind of is a perfect example of what I'm talking about, right? They released Die For You, which I wasn't a big fan of. Okay, I wasn't a real big fan of that song. They released Strangers a year later, around a year later. I love that song, it's great. And then, 8 months ago, they released Lost. Absolute killer track. And this kind of when they start hit their stride of, like, steady releases of singles, right? With no info. If you go to the website that they have on their channel, you can pre-order the album. It will exist. You can pre-order it, but they say coming sometime in summer 2024. So we've got still a little bit to go. They released Lost, banger song, great. It's like, okay, we're going with like pop punk, like electronic punk, like, okay, Ollie's in a new wheelhouse. That's great. He sounds awesome. The band sounds awesome. Cool. 2 months later, they dropped Amen, and they're like, "Oh no, we're back to where we were in our comfort zone of heaviness." All right, Lil Uzi Vert is on the track. He's not out of place at all. So like, all right, this album's gonna be crazy. And then 3 months after that, they released Dark Side, which is, in my opinion, the best one they've released. Just for me personally, because it hits a lot of personal spots. I relate. Who can relate? I can relate. So I was like, oh, okay. That's great. And then 12 days ago, from the time of this recording, almost 2 weeks ago, which I guess is a good thing that I delayed this. I delayed this for another reason. But we'll kind of get into that a little bit. But they released Kool-Aid, and that's, holy crap, that is an amazing song. So I'm excited for this upcoming album. But there's no album. You see what, like, I'm kind of like, oh, they released 4 singles within the year, and then I think with Dark Side, they were like, hey, next album is Posthuman Next Gen. Okay, cool. Can't wait for it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. Next, I don't believe they released an album this year. They being, I don't know how, but They Found Me. I think they might have released an album. Question mark. It does not appear. Oh, maybe. No, I'm looking at their channel. No, yeah, the next one's called Gloomtown Brats. Or Gloomtown Beats, or something along those lines. They announced it. And they as well released, yeah, the song Gloomtown Brats in December, and we're like, hey, we're doing stuff. It's like, alright, cool. Can't wait. I loved, yeah, 1981 Extended Play is a great 6-song album. Social Climb is a banger. Do It All the Time, banger. Absinthe, banger. The entire album, great. Razzmatazz, I was a little hit and miss on. There's songs that I loved, songs that I thought were great, and then songs like, okay, yeah, I see what they're doing. It's got to grow on me for a little bit. Whatever the hell they've teased with Gloomtown Brats and Infatuation, we're going in a different direction, and I'm here for it. It sounds really, really good. Next is who says that wrestling can't, like, show you new tastes? New Year's Day. No, I don't mean the Tay-Tay. Thank you. Thank you, though. New Year's Day. Their album is, Half Black Heart is out in March. They released a couple of songs. The first one I heard was Vampire. It was on, like, NXT or something like that. Killer song. Great. Then they released Secrets, another killer song, and then they just recently released I Still Believe, which is great. It reminds me of old Hailstorm. And that's what it reminds me of. Like, my biggest problem with Hailstorm is Lizzie Hale, her writing style is all over the place. Not in terms of quality, because it's all top tier, but in terms of, like, we're doing a heavy song here, or we're doing a sexy song here, or we're doing a real downer song here, and it's all great. It's just like, the energy is all over the place. New Year's Day, I haven't listened to much of their stuff. Gonna be honest, I just listened to, like, the recent stuff that's gonna be on the upcoming album. I haven't listened to, like, anything else. It seems like they are a constant punch-you-in-the-face type of band. Everything is heavy. It's good. It's good. What I've heard from them so far is great. Now, the reason why this got delayed, is I thought there was gonna be more. I thought we were getting something huge. Architects. A band that I only recently, like, got into 3 years ago? When was... Yeah, Animals was 3 years ago. So, yeah. Was that for... Oh my god. Was that... Yeah, that was... No. No, hold on. Yeah, it was for Those That Wish to Exist. Yeah. Yeah, I really like that album. I also really liked The Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit. Their last album from last year? I think it was last year. I enjoyed it. I like those. Does it hold a candle to Holy Hell? No! Absolutely not. Apparently, people took umbrage that for Those That Wish to Exist and The Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit do not hold a candle to Holy Hell. And apparently, they started issuing death threats to the band because they're not delivering what the fans want or something like that. I was like, oh, I enjoyed those albums, and I appreciate those albums. I like Holy Hell better, but I like those albums too. I am in the minority, or maybe in a special select group there. Or I guess the other people are in a special select group that just like, oh, you should die because you're not making the music we like. Congrats, they put out their heaviest song ever and it's aimed at you. Seeing Red. Bruh. Holy hell indeed. They released that and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna get a new album. Before the year is over? No, we didn't, but we got a kick-ass song that is heavy as fuck, boy. I don't know if the entire album is gonna be like that, but if it is, woo boy. Next up, Youngblood. Youngblood. I'm a fan of Youngblood. On and off, I guess we'll say. I liked his, I believe it was his debut album. 21st Century Liability. I don't know if that was his debut. That's the first things that I heard of him. That's a great album. That's a kick-ass album. And then he started doing shit with MGK, and I was like, I'll leave you there. You can have fun. He had one great album. See ya, bud. But then last year he posted, or he started releasing new shit, and I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of Low Life. That's great. Hated came out of nowhere as a... Wow, that song is heavy now, isn't it? Yeah, that's a great song. Low Life is more upbeat, but it's still great. And then Happier is great as well. Featuring Ollie Sykes, as we mentioned, talked about Bring Me the Horizon before. I guess they're like best mates, I guess. I don't know when his album's gonna come out. I don't know if we have info on an album. Again, a lot of these are just like, I don't know if we have anything for an album yet. I wish we did, but we just have some singles, so that's good enough, right? Royal Blood, staying in the UK, I guess. Have we left the UK? Yeah, well, I don't know where New Year's Day is from, and I don't know how. Bring Me the Horizon, Architects, Youngblood, and yeah, that's pretty European-centric here. Yeah, they released like a couple songs, Royal Blood did. Unless they just dropped in a whole last album and I completely missed it. Thanks, YouTube! Thanks for those notifications. Thanks. Because they released like Shiner in the Dark and Pull Me Through, Mountains at Midnight, like a long time ago. Virtually, at least. Like 7 months ago, 6 months ago. I was like, oh, okay, cool, they're gonna release something. And then notifications stopped, because YouTube is just the best, right? So I gotta catch up on that. I got a lot to catch up on. You know what I have caught up on? Here's one of those, oh shit, you listen to Glorb? Yeah, the AI SpongeBob songs, you know. The ones that are like, bruh, if they weren't SpongeBob oriented, they'd be at the top of the rap charts. Like, holy shit, Larry the Lobster rapping? It's some of the best shit I listened to this year. It's Can Gangsters Cry is one of the best songs, bar none. Just holy crap. Like, I know AI SpongeBob, I'm not a big fan of AI shit, because most of it's bad. But when it's utilized like this, perfection. Like, the entire through line of the story, like, dude is knocking it out of the park. Crazy, crazy good shit. Like, Squidward saying that he's got a huge dong, and that they're running trains on Pearl. Huh? What the fuck? My childhood did not foresee any of this. I gotta give it up to Larry, though. He's in his own pocket, doing his own thing, focused on himself. They call him Shellfish because he's just thinking about himself, trying to be a better person. Big ups to Larry. Within that same vein, Boy What? We're gonna swap to metal with Plan Z. Everybody was talking about this. I saw a ton of people talking. Orion talking about it. Nick Nocturnal talking about it. I was like, all right, I gotta see what the hell this is. And oh my good lord, it is some of the best. It's one of the best metal songs to come out in the year, and that's saying a lot. Bruh, AI is on a different level when used like this. If you're just using it to like, oh, it's this artist sings these songs, like, that's tired. I'm wired with Boy What and Glorb. Neon Tide, Just a Pineapple, and Plan Z. Bruh. Killing it. Killing it in that shit. They have to be like legit artists to come up with this stuff and then It's a weird thing. It's crazy that SpongeBob music is god tier. It's crazy. It's crazy that it that we exist in this timeline with stuff like, oh man, AI is threatening actors and stuff like that. But we also get Glorb and Boy Watt. There's like a handoff here. It's not an even handoff because you should pay voice actors and pay actors to act and do their jobs that they've trained their lives for. But also we could have that alongside SpongeBob Metal and SpongeBob Rap. We could have that. I think we could have that. Another thing that I did not pay much attention to because I didn't realize they released something was Beartooth. Yeah, from what I heard, Might Love Myself, Sunshine, I Was Alive, Riptide, all the singles they released that I listened to, except the one featuring Hardy, because Hardy's a little bit of a take it or leave it type of artist for me. My Name is Jack, I believe that's the... Or, yeah, just Jack. Okay. Yeah, that's a good song, but, like, the other one, it's a very hit-and-miss artist for me. So I didn't listen to that. But everything else was like, oh my god, Caleb is in a good place. This is amazing. Right? Listen to the other albums from, like, a couple years ago. Below was a killer album. A few years before that, Aggressive and Disgusting. Great albums. King of Anything is an all-timer for me. But it is also a, you know, a very downer song, very, like, shitting on myself type of song. Like, you should not put me on a pedestal. You treat me as a king, but I'm the king of I'm not the king of anything. So, to hear, like, Might Love Myself, it's like, oh my god, he's actually in a good place mentally. That's crazy good. So it's like happy metal, like, oh my god. It's so great. I gotta, there's a bunch on this list. I'm like, oh man, YouTube kind of dicked me over. Because I wasn't the bell is rung for all of these bands. So I want to be kept up to date, and YouTube's just like, pfah, our job? No, we're not gonna do that. Get fucked. An artist, this is another one where you probably don't see it coming, but this is also that pattern. The next 4 artists that released, that I either didn't get around to listening to their entire album, or I just listened to like what they released this year and like a couple other songs. So I'm just starting to get to that artist. The next 4 are in that category, as well as one that I actually was like, I gotta buy the album. I have to support this artist. YouTube. The number one thing that YouTube kind of teaches you, or tries to teach you, is to make good title cards that catch your eye. And that happened quite a bit. My new way of finding new music is, if I see your title, the title of your video is like, okay, whatever. But if I see the thumbnail, I go, that's a weird thumbnail, and I pass it by, and then it shows up again and again and again, I'm likely to go, yeah, fuck it. What is this? And then there's a good chance that I just hit my microphone, but there's also a good chance that I'm gonna enjoy your stuff. Like with Shotgun Willie. Yeah. I just listened to Bombs Away, and I think that's the only song that is of recent times. No, Dalai Lama as well. Okay. Okay, Dalai Lama and Married to the Bag. They're just, I just find them enjoyable. They're just fun. There's no substance to them. They're just flex rap. But the wordplay is great and the beats are great and it's just fun. Those 3 songs I listened to, they're just fun songs with fun references, and the music videos are just weird. And like, yeah, I'll throw it up on screen. This is the title card I kept seeing over and over and over again. This Dr. Eggman, Dr. Wily looking dude with an explosion behind him. I kept seeing that over and over and over again. I'd be like, what the fuck? Okay, fine, fuck it. Let me click on it. And I did. And I was like, okay, this is a good song. Okay. This is pretty good. Next one is a more more serious band, Gunship. Yeah, I have a soft spot for like that techno style, that neon cyberpunk type of stuff. And I saw the title for Monster in Paradise. I was like, okay, there's neon lights. Okay, cool. Let me check it out, right? It was just like under-recommended. I think after I checked out the next band we'll talk about. I was like, okay, let me check it out. It's good! I really enjoy it. I haven't gotten to the entire album. Unicorn, I believe it's called. I haven't got to the entire thing. Because the one song I keep getting stuck on is... Is it on the album? I have to check if it's on the album, because it's on... Yeah, Empress of the Damned, featuring Lights. I haven't heard that name in years. Lights? Her song Romance Is, right? Yeah, Romance Is. That's a great song. God, it was 14 years ago. God, time can go fuck itself. Yeah, I love that song. It's a great song. She's a great artist. So I saw her name, I was like, what the fuck? She's still making music? That's great. Empress of the Damned is so freaking good. I have that on repeat. That and, yeah, Techno Noir 2, featuring John Carpenter. It's an intro by John Carpenter. I don't know from what. But that's great, and also Blood for the Blood God is also great. I gotta get to the rest of the album, obviously, but those songs are just crazy good. And the reason I searched, or I found out about them, is because the band Dance with the Dead kept popping up in my feed. I was like, you know what? For the song Kiss of the Creature. This is the title card. Oh, and Sledge. These two title cards kept popping up in my feed. I was like, fuck it, let me check it out. And it's in a similar vein as Gunship, where it's dark synth techno type of deal, but it's instrumental. And it just feels like Doom 2016 music, minus like the heavy, the heaviness of the guitars, and I can't think of his name. Mick Gordon. Yeah, he's no longer with. He's no longer doing that shit because like they wouldn't pay him. Which, what the fuck are you doing? Hey, the man, he's great. But it's very Doom without the Mick Gordon type of stuff. It's really good. I enjoy that type of stuff. Just like background instrumental stuff that you can listen to. Like, oh man, it's bops. It's great. It's good. Last one is is another one where I kept looking at this fucking title card, and it's this face, Cal Scrubby, Money Buy Drugs. That's from 3 years ago. I listened to that song, I was like, alright, what is this song? It's 2 minutes, I lose nothing except maybe a few brain cells. And I might have lost a few brain cells, but he gained a fan, because I went, alright, there's something here. There's something here. And then I listened to Donnie Darko, and holy shit, that's amazing. And then, something more recently, Looking Like Jesus. It's great! That's some killer shit. He's very underrated. And then, he's got a lot of shorts, so I have to, like, kind of look through things. Yeah, No More Freestyle. Great. French Tips. Great. Just weird songs that have some underlying themes to them. And it's like, the beats are great, he's great, just all around greatness. I really spent 20-something minutes talking about singles without talking about any of the full-length albums, huh? So what we'll do is save that for a part 2. Yeah, why not? We'll save this for a part 2, because I'm gonna ramble on some more about things I love and the music that I listen to and fell in love with and all that other good stuff. So for now, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, super kick that like button. Check my channel for more videos I've done. If we can see, hit subscribe, and until next time, goodbye.